guys, how are you? Welcome to another video. This one is talking about insomnia, which lots of people struggle with insomnia. Depends on what your cause of insomnia is, but I will first define for you what it means to have insomnia. Insomnia is a persistent difficulty with sleep initiation, maintenance, and consolidation. So some people can start to sleep, but to maintain the sleep is not usually feasible for them. They will probably sleep at the time you go to sleep with them, 9:30 p.m. or 9 p.m. But by 2 a.m. they're awake, so they can't maintain sleep. This is constant for most people, and if it is diagnosed at least 3 times a week, then it's considered insomnia. So if you're not able to maintain sleep at least 3 times a week is called insomnia. Now, for the people who are not able at all to do this on a consistent period more than 3 months, then that's called chronic insomnia. Like they're not able to sleep. They go to bed with you same time. Most of them, you're still asleep. They're awake at 2 a.m. thinking about to-do list, and it's just so hard for them to go back to sleep or stay asleep. So that is what is insomnia. But on occasion, some people, there's a cause for the insomnia. It's difficult for them to fall asleep, or they do fall asleep, but they awaken so many times, so it's not even considered sleep because you're not well rested. If you go to bed and you don't sleep, you're not well rested. So those people, then it's considered insomnia. Or, as I said, early morning awakenings, they wake up at 2 a.m. and then just fight. They can't go back to sleep until morning. So they're awake from 2 a.m. until morning, whatever their morning is. If they get up at 6 or if they get up at 5:30, whatever their morning is, it's just so hard to stay asleep. There are causes to some of them, like people who are in grief, and grief is a topic on its own, but people who have lost loved ones, people who have been at a job for a long time and then suddenly lose the job, that's grief too. Been in a relationship with somebody, lost the spouse, or lost the relationship, still considered as grief. So there are many causes of this. Wake up at night and just their head, significant distress. So they are thinking, my computer keeps going off here and I need it to stay alert, so if I forget something. But you're with them in bed, you're probably asleep, you don't even notice that this person is awake. But they woke up, have lost a parent, a significant other, a sibling, a close friend of theirs, whatever it is that they have lost. A job, as I said, that's a loss too. But they've lost all that. That is considered grief. That does keep some people awake too. So it's the grief kind. You can't tell them to take medication to fall asleep or whatever is considered as sleep hygiene prior to going to bed. Like you have a routine prior to going to bed. Some people shower, some people take a hot cup of tea, some people will meditate into sleep, some people will use sleep meditation. So whatever you use as sleep hygiene, these people do all those, but at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning, they are sitting with their thoughts of loss. Whatever the loss is to them, a job, a parent, a loved one, a relationship, grieving a relationship that they've held for a while and maybe relationship ended or the person is not there. Those are the many problems. Those are the many causes of insomnia. Some people, it's just significant distress. You have distress, so in your head, you can't shut it down. You can't shut it down. You're trying to go to sleep. You've done all your sleep hygiene routine, but then your mind can't go off. It's hard. That space can be filled by anything, so it gets difficult for you to switch off and go to bed. So those are the many causes of insomnia. Some people have transient insomnia where a certain problem is causing them not to sleep. Once the problem is not there, luckily most of them will go back and be able to sleep. But then if the problem is constant, then it's not transient. If the problem is constant, that's what you call chronic insomnia, because it's lasted more than 3 months. Once the problem is there for more than 3 months, then that's chronic insomnia. You're not able to sleep. You've taken the sleep teas, you've taken the sleep aids, you have done your sleep hygiene, everything to help you go to bed, and you can't, then that's called insomnia. So there are many causes, but today I was focusing on grief as a cause for most people, because a lot of people dealing with grief, they could have gone through counseling, seen a therapist, talked to the therapist, but one time at night they will wake up and their thoughts go back to that place. So hard for them to fall asleep, and it will take a long time. It takes a long time. You talk to some people and they say, eventually when I got over the grief, my sleep came back. But some people, it's hard for them. It's hard for them. So if you have people who have lost loved ones, struggling with sleep, it's something to talk about. Other people who are in insomnia is they do shifts. So if you've been on day shift, night shift, day shift, night shift, that occasionally will throw off your sleep schedule. It throws off your sleep schedule that it takes you a long time to get back into routine. And some people are just used to working night shift, that sleeping at night is hard for them. So they will go to bed, but those are the ones that go to bed 11 p.m. or midnight, and then they are able to go to bed. So those are shift workers. Change of shifts has just caused dysregulation, and they are not able to sleep. And then once they get off the night shift, it takes them 2 weeks to a month, and they go back to their sleep routine. But those ones are dysregulated not by insomnia, but the work that they do has dysregulated them, and then it throws them off schedule. But luckily for these people, most of them will go back to their regular sleep. If they are off of the night shift anywhere from 2 weeks to a month, they will go back to routine. What is another one? Let's see here. Secondary to... Okay, some people, another one is when you have like a psychiatric disorder. During those phases of the manic phase of, if it is bipolar that you have, it is hard for those people to sleep because they are running on high. So then it's difficult for them to sleep, but because they're in this phase, once the medication kicks in and it takes care of it, then they do go back to their sleep. But the chronic insomnia is what's difficult. What's difficult? They've done everything they can. They've done your sleep hygiene that you've told them to do. They've taken the calm tea. They have done the routine that you mentioned to them. Soak in bathtub, take your calm tea, switch off screens, get away from bright light before this time, go to your bedroom, don't have TV and anything, and then sleep. They've done all that, and then the sleep is hard for them to actually fall asleep. That's problematic because it's hard for the body to function without sleep. Sleep is important because when you do sleep, your immune system rests. You switch off your head, the brain shuts down, and then when you wake up tomorrow, you're ready to go. But for the people who don't, you see it's a constant, and then the chronic insomnia can cause other diseases because you're not rested. You're not rested, you go to a place, people have cold symptoms, flu symptoms, you catch it so quickly. Those are the people you see catching all this all the time. But you just had a cold recently. Yes, they have about 5-6 colds a year because the immune system is not rested. So sleep is a huge topic, but I just wanted to focus on sleep caused by grief, whatever grief is for you. Lost a loved one, lost a relationship, lost a job. You've been at this job 40 years and then all of a sudden you lose it. That's grief. Most of them also comes from losing siblings, parents, grandparents. It's a whole slew of things that can cause grief to interrupt your sleep. So at night when you wake up, all you're thinking about is this loved one that you had in your life, or if it's the job, the loss of the job will cause you not to sleep. So in a nutshell, basic insomnia with people who've undergone grief is what I was covering today. But if you have those symptoms at least 3 times a week, you are unable to stay asleep, you awaken during the night, What's another one? I forgot. Let me look it up. Hard for you to go to bed, hard for you to maintain the sleep after you go to bed, or consolidation of the sleep at least 3 times a week, insomnia. If it lasts more than 3 months, chronic insomnia. All right, guys, you have a great week. We'll see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye-bye.